I'm going to show you how we are going to decorate these super cute dish towels for a gift. And you should already have with you so that you're ready for the video, and please pause if you don't have it yet, is the part of the supplies that had the white sticky contact paper, a cookie cutter, mine is a reindeer head, pencil, the fabric puffy paint, your dish towels, your gift bag that you're going to decorate later, and a pair of scissors. So make sure you have those items so that we can do this together. The first thing, I did practice this beforehand, so this one is dry, so you can kind of see what this looks like, is you're going to be using the puffy paint on your towel. Now, what's nice about this towel is it is quite big, so you get to actually have opportunities when it's dry to do the other side as well. Another option I would say for you, if you are going to do this all at the same time, is to open it up, and you can do this side here and then this side on this side, and just let it all lay out and dry at the same time. I wanted to show you what it looked like dry and be able to touch it, which is why I did this side ahead of time. So I'm only going to do this part. The towel is quite big, so keep that in mind. You might want to have like a newspaper or a cardboard in between it so that it doesn't bleed through. But I did it, and it did come through a little bit, but honestly not too much. So I'm not that worried about it. So I'm just going to go to the side I'm going to be working on. And when towels hang, usually the bottom is right here where the seam is. And when you fold it in half, that's the top. So that's the top of my towel. I'll lower it so you can see. And then all of this space we have to work with. So here's my workspace. Here is my tracer. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make my stencils on this contact paper. And you're going to need an actual pencil to do the tracing. You have to hold it down. And I've learned by already doing this is you want to use as little space as you can so that you can make plenty of them. If you, for this side, I only was able to do 2 because I was saving it for the next time. But if you want to do more than that, then make sure that you save some room. So I'm going to go all the way to the edge here, as far over as I can. And on the outside of this, I'm going to hold it down really stiff, and I'm going to trace this. You kind of have to get up in there and look overhead. And obviously, if it shifts on you, just do the best you can so it makes a reindeer head. I've already traced this reindeer head. And then I wanted to show you that if you have other cookie cutters at home and you want to use different shapes, you can. But you don't have to. If you don't have any of those, you can always just free draw something as well, preferably that's not that you can simply do on your own. So I can maybe do like a star. It could be something or something else. But I'm going to stick to my reindeer heads and my Christmas tree. And then you're going to cut it out. So I like to bubble cut first. That way it breaks it up and makes it a little easier to cut. I'm also going to save the extra in case there's something else I want to add later. So here's my reindeer head. Then you go in and do a close cut. So I'm going to take my time here and really try to be accurate with this. Since it is a negative shape, the lines kind of are important so that it still looks like a reindeer when we're done. Not sure what cookie cutter shape you guys have at home. But reindeer's pretty tricky to get in and out around the antlers and his face. So just like that. I'm making a ton of scraps, so those I'll just put off to the side. Again, making sure I don't need any of them later. So there's one. And then I've got my other guy here. Again, bubble cut first, and then close cut second. You could be doing this along with me or pausing it in between steps is fine too. I usually really like to take my time with cutting because cutting can be really difficult and it's not something you can really race through. It's something that you do need to take your time with to make sure you're doing a nice job. And done. And then if I wanted to, I could cut out my tree. Okay, then you're going to arrange them on your towel the way you want it to look. I'm thinking that looks okay. I could do something more like this if I wanted to. So there's not a wrong way to do this. It's really just a matter of what you want it to look like. So I think I'm going to arrange it like that. Then you take off the adhesive, because this has a sticky back, and the part that is not sticky is garbage. The part that is sticky, you literally stick it down on your towel. So you just kind of press it down. We'll pull it off later, but this is going to help keep that area white. And then I pull this sticky tag off. I stick down my reindeer head. And then this guy too. There we go. You got to kind of use your fingertips. I like to put things on an angle. That way I'm not worried about whether or not it's perfect. And then I just kind of press them down to make sure the edges are down. You don't want anything kind of sticking out on you like that. Okay, so now we're ready for the painting part. So I do encourage you to kind of clean up your space a little bit, push up your sleeves, make sure you're in an area that you can be using the fabric paint. When I did mine, I did it a couple of different ways. I'll show you why you have a pencil, and then I'll show you a couple ways that work too. So it's really just open to what works best for you. I'm also going to open this so that it doesn't go through on the other side, because it is a pretty big towel, like I said, and you might want to have something underneath it to protect it. So my space is here. I have it laid out the way I want it. And then I also grabbed a paper plate to squirt some of the fabric paint on, and then just a napkin or a paper towel to wipe it off if it gets too much. Now the colors I have are red, green, and blue. I first just started with red and blue on the other side so that it kind of also made like a purple. But for this time, I'm going to do mostly blue and green, and I might put a little red in there between two. So you open these up, they twist open, and you're going to squirt a little bit on your plate, not too much to start. And I'm going to squirt some of the green as well. What's nice about blue and green together is that even if they mix together, they look nice. So you don't have to worry about them blending and turning brown. It is a little bit of a color theory colors opposite on the color wheel look nice next to each other like Christmas colors, but if I were to mix up red and green together, they do turn into a brown. So just keep that in mind. All right, now I take my pencil. You can use this side. I used the eraser side. It didn't work that well. And then I dip it in here. And I would strongly suggest that you start at the top because you see how my arm is reaching over? I don't want your arm to get into the paint. Then you just kind of take some little dots all around the edges of where you stuck your design. Mine is a reindeer. And you purposely want to go right up to the edge so that it defines it when we peel it off. So I kind of just polka dotted around the whole thing with the green first, and then I'm going to go down to this one. And notice I keep redipping. And then I'm running out of green, so I'll give it a little bit more of a squirt. I want to make sure I get this part done first before I do any other added details. So just kind of dot, dot, dot all the way around. You can even do some away from it, but like I said, I'm going to get these parts done before that and then kind of decide. And then all the way down here on my tree. That's kind of poking up, so I'm going to stick that down. Then I'm going to go to my next color. You can always go back and forth. I just wanted to do one color first and then the other color. It keeps my pencil a little cleaner if I didn't want that to mix right away, like that. Then I'm going to wipe off my pencil and I'm going to move to the blue. So again, I start at the top. And this, you just kind of go right over your areas. You can do some areas that you didn't hit yet, or go right on top of the green. It's not going to hurt it. In fact, it will blend quite nicely. Blue and red also mix really nicely together. Green and yellow mix nicely together. So I need a little bit more blue. I ran out. Dot, dot, dot. This part of the pencil side really does work better than the eraser. I was doing the eraser yesterday, and it was really slippery. So this is grabbing a little bit nicer. And now that I did mostly my green and my blue, then I can maybe go on to other dots in other places. You can go crazy with your dots if you want to. Looks pretty cute. Now I have red also. I was going to make that separate. So I'm going to clean off my brush, not my brush, my pencil. And then I'm going to use my red. And I'm kind of just going to go around it with my own design. That's what I want to do. You decide what you want to do. Kind of like just some sort of a border that goes all the way up and around. You're going to decide for yourself how you want to decorate that. The best part about this is there's no right or wrong way to do this. The right way is the way that you want to do it because you are the artist and you are the one creating the gift. And they're going to love it simply because it is coming from you. Then, I think I'll finish this here. What you're going to do, now I probably would wait this until it's dry, but for the sake of not watching paint dry, you would then peel this off. And then go to the next one. Notice I started at the bottom and I just peeled it right up. I'm kind of going underneath a little bit to get that tip to pull. There we go. And pulling that right off. And you do need to let this sit out and dry. A really great idea while this is drying, I'm going to go put this off to the side so that it can dry in peace, is while this is drying, then you can work on your gift bag that was given to you. So once the towel is dry, you can fold it up really nicely and put it inside the gift bag. It's a solid colored bag. You can use markers or crayons. I was using the markers that were provided for the other activity. So if you don't have them, you could do that as well and decorate it. You can write who this picture is or present is for. You can do a winter or holiday theme on yours, however you want to decorate it. You can do front and back. Maybe put a little message in there so it looks really nice. And you would probably also want to write who it's from too, so that when your towel is nice and dry, you can fold it up and put it right inside the baggie. Thanks.